awareness. Our target or our role is to make sure that mental health is promoted, and we have to break the stigma and discrimination that is attached to mental health. So it is very, very important that we promote mental health. It is our passion as an institution, as an individual, as a family, and as a country. Mental health is very, very important in our nation. It is one of the health aspects that has been neglected, especially in Africa. In our other countries, the Western countries, they promote mental health. And I'm one of those who have benefited from mental health. Right now, I can say we were supposed to, or we were celebrating the mental health on the 10th of October, which is an international mental health. So I thought we should go live so that people are aware that there's really mental health that is supposed to be promoted. And mental health is not merely, or the way we have defined it, that it is illness. It's not illness. We have the concept of mental health and illness. Mental health primarily is about promoting health of an individual mentally, the mind of a person. We have to promote mental health. And we may say that we have the primary, secondary, and tertiary level of promoting mental health. If we say primary, we mean that from the level where before it even begins, we need to promote mental health. So there are two aspects in there. We have the promotion and prevention of mental illnesses. Now, before we proceed, we can say, what is mental health? So mental health is an individual not merely having a disease, but we may say spiritually. You can also say physically you are okay. You are able to worship your God freely. You are able to express yourself freely. Then we say you are mentally healthy. So those aspects, if we put them together, then you will say you are able to function as a person, where you are able to do things freely, considering other people's rights and not also infringing on your own rights. Then we can say you are mentally healthy. It's very, very important. And one of the skills as an individual that we are supposed to have is being assertive. So one of the things that we are probably neglected again, even from childhood, and we need to promote it when children are very, very young. What is to be assertive? We can say to be assertive is standing up for your own rights and not really infringing on other people's rights and not even yours, but able to express yourself fully. Then we can say you are assertive. That is also one of the aspects that has been neglected even in institutions where we work from. If you are unable to express yourself as an individual, normally we can say you are not mentally healthy. The person is supposed to express themselves. If that thing is neglected from childhood, and those are the people normally are going to suffer from depression, because there are certain things that we want to tell someone, because I was never taught to be assertive. I cannot be able to express myself fully and be able to know that there are certain things that I'm that the certain things that I have that have happened in my life, and I cannot tell anybody else because I was never taught to be assertive. And most of the time, we teach our male children to be on the aggressive side. But if we teach our male children, a boy child from childhood, the importance of being assertive, the importance of considering a girl child as the most important also human being in life, then we are going to have a healthy generation. Because these two individuals from childhood, once they are considered as important human beings, then it's important that we are going to promote mental health. And this month is the month that we want to create awareness of mental health and also breaking the stigma and discrimination that is attached to mental health and illness. We have a lot that we need to talk about, but probably we may not talk about today, but we have a passion and love for mental health that want people to know the importance of this unequal access to mental health as our theme for this year. Look at the institution that we have as Chainama. When was it built? Look at the infrastructure. Look at the budget, which is attached to mental health. Look at the wards. Look at the way we take care of our patients. Look at their toilets. So those are really attached to what we call the stigma and discrimination that normally begins even from the teachers who are also teaching. Teachers who are teaching mental health are also stigmatized. The institutions are stigmatized. Drugs are stigmatized. So if you look at those, we start breaking the stigma that is attached to mental illness, then we are going to promote mental health. And most of the people will come out and access the mental health that we need. We need a health generation. In my Mid-East airport, certain people who have benefited from mental health where I work from, and they are there to testify the importance of having mental health in an institution, a mental health department that we need to promote from our own institutions where we are working from, so that our students, as they learn, they should know that we have a mental health unit. If you look at the number of suicide attempts that have been occurring in our institution, it's very, very high. Students, they have a lot of issues. Students are not considered as human beings when they are being trained in certain institutions. But if you consider students as a very important person, the reason why you are going to teach, then it will be a mutual understanding, and we need to respect them as adults as well, especially if you are at the university, because they have got feelings. They also hate when you don't talk to them and demean them. And that also has got an impact on a student who come and also hate you in future. Some also become aggressive. They learn the things that we do to them. And they're also going to transfer the information that we have impacted in them to another generation, and the generation continues. But from as long as we are still alive, we need to leave a legacy to say mental health exists, and there is no health without mental health. So I have one of my students here who come and express the importance of mental health in an institution. His name is Lubinda Mperekelo.
Good morning, everyone. I greet you all the listeners. My name is Lovinda Pelekelo, a student at Eden University. I studied school in 2019. This is now 2021, and I'm in my final year. And I would love to share the story, or my story that I had, or what I've been going through via my academic. So I can start with. Is it video clear? Okay. I can start with. I really appreciate, like for us students, it's very important for us to learn mental health because it really helps us in our future. Mental health is very important in such a way that it helps people to know who they are, how they feel, and how they act to other people. So you find that at times when you're depressed, someone who knows mental health or somebody who has learned mental health, they would know just by looking, they will know to say, okay, this person is depressed or this person might have a problem. So from here, I would share something like the time when I lost, okay, like in life, the time when you lose your beloved one, so you find that you don't think the way you're supposed to think. You find that every time you feel like things just goes bad in your life. But if you know how mental health works, then um, you can know how to act or how to handle a situation just by yourself. So, like our previous, um, yes, our lecture, yes, this is, I can say she's my mentor. She's the person who mentors me in everything that I do here in school. Whatever I'm going through, I come to her and she's the one who helps me in all the steps. So there's a time when I went home, when I lost my beloved one. So by then, when I get back, when I went home and when I came back here at school, um, she called me to her office, and all the time I felt like I was just confused. I couldn't think the way I was supposed to do. Even in school, my performance was really going down because I was depressed. But she really tried her level best to bring me back to my normal senses. And that really helped me because all we are talking about here is mental health. Mental health is very, very important, whereby as a human being, you can't live without mental health. So, as students, we really have mental health does in our life. Um, okay, it's very okay. First of all, before I go any further, I would love first to, okay, here on the video, I'm with my mentor. This is the person I'm talking about, the person who knows all or who knows everything about me. She's, I can say, if you want really to know about yourself, how to handle situations in life, this is the best person to see, or it's the best person to meet in life.
Thank you.
Yes. So from here, maybe I would love her to share something that I shared with her. She just explains how I came to her, how she approached me. Madam, you can talk to her.
You have allowed me.
I think yes.
Yes, this is my boy. I love my students. I take them as mine because I drew my love for students from someone who is very, very educated, I can say, a professor who considered me as a child when I was going through a lot of things. Because of our mental health background, she was able to identify that in me. And I took it upon myself that I need also to come down the way she came down to my level and considered my mental health as one of the most important aspects in my life. Her name is Professor Mwabe. She has never left me alone. Despite her academic achievements, she came down to a level, even making a cup of tea for me when I was really down. And how noticed that I wasn't doing very well in school. So I've taken it up and changed. I've taken it up myself and say I need to change the way we take care of our students. We need to take care of our students as a whole because they've got a lot of issues that they also go through. They are also human beings. If we come down to our level, we put aside our papers and look after these children whom we have received and we are training and impacting knowledge because they are our future leaders. So whatever we impact in them, definitely they are learning by what we say, they are learning by observing what you are doing. We're a role model to your students. So whatever you are doing, the language you are doing, the way you are taking care of those students, it will definitely come back to you because they also meet your children, they also meet your relatives. So we should consider them as human beings. And when I noticed that my student was not really doing fine, and since one of the students is a friend to him, and he linked the importance of mental health. And we introduced it even in their class that we are the focal people that are doing mental health in institution. There's a department just for mental to take care of the welfare of their student, the welfare of the students. It's not only about their financial things or academics, it's the whole human being. And we have opened up that department, and students were able to come and recognize. And surprisingly, we have a number of students who have gone through a lot of mental breakdown. But because of the department that we have in the institution, students are able to come freely to cry with us. We come together, we laugh together, and there they are doing fine. And one of the students who identified the signs and symptoms that one of my friends is not doing very well is also here. So what we are promoting here is to take care of one another, that it is important as you are playing around, as you are mingling with your friends, take care of the mental well-being of your friend or the friend next to you, because you cannot be called a human being if there is not another human being. In my midst again here, for me to open up all these things that really occur and how it started, we have progress in our midst who can also tell us how we identified the signs and symptoms of one of the students that really needed mental health services from our department. His name is Progress. Progress. So as he's coming, preparing himself, we're just saying, let's do this together, and we are in it together. We need to promote mental health in our institution. We need to promote mental health from our homes so that we can reduce on these mental issues that are going on in our families. Because a lot of families are broken down because of traumatic situation that we go through as children, because we don't even know how to handle ourselves. We don't even know who we are, and that is what we call self-awareness. Do you know who you are? Who are you? Which window is bigger than the other? So that you can help one another if we identify and we know our strength, our opportunities, and our weaknesses before we vent on someone who is innocent to us. We have progress in our midst. Progress. How did you recognize that one of your friends needed mental health services from our department?
All right, so thank you very much, madam, for affording me a chance to share a story how I identified my friend Rolinda Becky having symptoms of depression. So one day at night, my friend, actually before that, let me just say that he lost a mom, which is a big loss. So after I returned from home, while I was studying, I woke up. Then I noticed my friend that he was crying at night and he wasn't sleeping. So because of that, I tried to call him. My friend, what's really happened? Then he said, I couldn't sleep. I'm not able to sleep this time around since I came back from home. So I was like, now, since that time, you are not telling me what you are going through, my friend. Why? So that's how I sought of help from our rector, Madam Kari. So that's how I approached her to say that, Madam, one of our friends is having signs of depression. He's not sleeping at night and he was even crying. Then he also is not eating. He could not talk anymore to anyone, even to me as a friend. He couldn't talk. So, because of that, the madam called me and I went with him and he shared the story. And that's how the madam helped us to bring back the record of normal senses. So after that, in order to promote mental health, the madam prepared a lesson on defense mechanism, and she never only targeted me and Peretro, but she targeted the class as a whole. So that's how she taught us how to use defense mechanism. So we really appreciate the work of mental health in promoting and maintaining health of the person. Thank you very much for this time you have allowed me to talk. Otherwise, it's very important to identify and quick prevention of suicides. Because once someone is depressed, meaning once severe depression goes, they can commit suicide in mild depression. So it's very, very important to understand mental health and signs and symptoms of mental illness as early as possible so that at least we are able to help our friends as we are ready. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you. So as he has explained, it may seem to be just one of those simple issues that we just ignore. And most of our students, they have lost their loved ones. And this is the time where we just, they go around to collect money for contribution towards their loved ones to support. But when you are supporting them financially, have you supported them also emotionally when they are going through that? It's very, very important if we can consider the way he did by identifying. And we need to do some follow-ups on our students or anyone who is going through the same mental breakdown after you counsel them. Are they improving? Have they changed? Are they now functioning the way they are supposed to function? Are they functioning the way they were functioning before the breakdown? So those are some of the things that we have tried to ignore even in society. We have tried to ignore even in institutions. We don't follow up after a student has lost someone they love. And we have a number of students in a lot of institutions that have worked. A lot of students have attempted suicide, where we go there to go and break the door to go and lift that student and seek the mental health services. So my call or my goal and my message to everyone is that please, let's take care of one another. Let's take care of these students that have been given to us as we release them back into the society. Let's release them as a full package with mental health background because they are going to help one person and we are here at least before we die. Let's go and save one soul here on earth. We have another person in our midst who also had who benefited from the services that we have in school. His name is Justin. Justin, share a brief story on how you have benefited the services from our institution.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Justin Mwale, student nurse at Eden University. I'm in my third year of study. Yes, like she said, all I can urge to everyone viewing this video is that depression is real and you cannot survive it on your own. You need to talk to someone about it and you need to share your problem with someone for you to survive it because you cannot at all recognize you cannot recognize the damage that it's causing in you or rather let me say on you. So it's very important to share your problem or thought with another person. Yes, I don't know how to say it, but I'm going to continue. I faced a very, I don't know what I can call it. Okay, I can say I faced a problem that really break me down from the inside, and not only the inside, but it affected each and every way of living in my life, and it's really, really a difficult thing to understand and go through. I passed through a lot, and I couldn't stand on my own. There's a friend that brought the issue up to the madam. She explained everything to the madam, the issue I was going through and the problems that I've been facing. I couldn't eat. I just couldn't understand each and everything that I was going through at that moment. I lost a loved one, and it's not easy. as we all know. Um, After I was introduced to the madam, I was actually called. The madam called me. She called me for counseling. She consulted me and asked me a few questions about what really bothered me, and I freely shared with her. I talked to her about everything, and I told her how everything happened. And then after that, she gave me a few advice that has really changed my life in such a great way. She advised me on how I could cope up with stress, how I could avoid depression, and also how I could associate with others, because that has really helped me as well. I used to deassociate uh, myself from people because I thought after losing my beloved, I just thought it's not really worth it living anymore. It really broke me down to a point where I even thought of committing suicide, and I really went through a tough moment. But after having a talk with the madam, she cancelled me, and she didn't only cancel me, she called me from time to time to ask on how I was doing. And I would like to share with you guys a few things that she advised me, and that really helped me make it to this far. Yes, if any of you, or if any viewer out there, or any person out there, you notice someone to say they are having a bad moment or rather tough moment, and they're going through a lot in their life, it's really important to seek counseling services. I can advise you to contact the madam if you have any person or any relative that you know that's facing the same. You can contact the madam. She's really helpful, and everything will move in a nice way. That I assure you with 100%. She advised me on doing some running. Every time I felt depressed, I did some running, and also some workouts. Not only that, she also advised on some activities that I would do that would, what can I say, that would derive my attention from depression and to something else that's really constructive and beneficial at the end of the day. She advised me on studying, not only studying, but reading some books. There are a lot of books that have helped me. And also, not only that, she also advised me on prayer. Prayer has really helped me. Talking to the Lord is very important, like we all know. It has really helped me in such a great way, and also associating with others. Um, when you're all alone, all your thoughts, you might think it's okay being alone, but all your thoughts will be focused on the depression that you are having inside. And you won't know or recognize by yourself to say, this is affecting me in such a way. It will really kill you or eat you up from the inside. So it's very important to associate yourself with others. In that way, you avoid depression, and you get to share your story, or rather you get to um, talk of something else, or rather concentrate on some other things apart from depression. Yes, at this moment I can allow the madam to ask a few questions that may be helpful to you guys that are viewing. Thank you very much.
Justin, maybe not
Yes,
to
madam.
cut you short. Um, did you recognize that you were entering into depression?
I didn't recognize it at all. I I don't know how I can say it, but I just thought like there is no reason to live anymore. After everything that happened, I just thought like life wasn't worth it anymore, and I couldn't recognize on my own to say I'm moving in such a bad way, or rather my life is having such a breakdown.
Maybe I can ask again.
Yes, sure.
When I entered into that class, I saw that time we were so big.
Yes.
Yeah, that truly disturbed me. So there are some other health impacts that had come in medically that
Sure.
needed those services immediately. That was handled by other people as well. Would you share some the conditions, if at all you are able to tell us, that you developed because of the depression that you had entered?
Yeah, sure. After I got into depression, I avoided meals all the time. I couldn't eat because the person that I lost was the person that I usually ate with. So most of the times when I got food, it like gave me memories of her and everything we went through together. So I avoided eating most of the times, and it really got me into a problem that I couldn't handle on my own. I started having gastritis, or rather gases. I started having that, and I started taking medication for the same condition that I developed, just because I avoided meals because of depression. And after that, I was prescribed on some medication that I started taking, but after the madam called me for counseling, she advised me on the importance of eating, and also she gave me a few reasons why I shouldn't give up. There are a lot of people that look up to me. I have my mom, I have my brothers and sisters, and she gave me those reasons not to give up yet. And she advised me to say there's a lot more to life rather than ending it all. Yes, so after that, I started taking meals on time. She advised me on taking warm water each and every morning, to which it has helped me up to now. I'm proud to say I don't have gastritis anymore after I took up the measures that she advised on.
Thank you so much, Justin, for sharing that sensitive issue.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. So in short, what we are saying is I'm not the only one who have the mental health background. I'm not the only person who can help out. There are a number of people who have done mental health, and there are a number of institutions that are offering mental health. One of them is King 6 here in Lusaka. It's there, Ndola is there, Lusaka, Kasama. Almost all the provinces are offering mental health services. Here in Chainama, it's not only illnesses like madness, the way we call it. People are mad. Even people are having some breakdown when you feel like you are not yourself. You are welcome for you to go through the services that we are offering at Chainama. It's not only for mad people, the way we have attached the stigma and discrimination to the institution. There are a number of services that you can benefit. Just having a talk, like let's talk with Montani. It's a teletherapy, just a call away from you. We can live together in harmony with good health. And even my midst here, I've got another person who can say maybe it's mentoring her. Her name is Naninza. She has the passion for mental health. What we want is people to know that there's mental health. And we need mental health in our homes. We need mental health in our institutions. We need mental health in schools. We don't want people to bully our children because those are our future generation. We need to promote assertiveness. Expressing yourself fully is very, very important without stepping on other people's rights, not even on your rights. And that is what we are promoting as mental health. And that is just a stepping stone to having mental health. We have Naninza in our midst as one of our lecturers who is also being mentored in mental health.
So thank you for having me. So, as Madam Muntali has mentioned, I'm still undergoing my training in mental health and psychiatry. And I have developed this passion because I believe that mental health is a very huge aspect of health that has been neglected. And as we all know, for you to function as a whole, as a group, as a productive human being to society, to your family, to school, and any other activities, you firstly need to be mentally healthy. Because mental health is just the backbone of everything that you are able to carry out in a productive way. So we talk about, like she mentioned in the beginning, it has to deal with how you handle situations, how you cope with stressors of daily living, how you are able to be aware of certain mental conditions like depression. Self-awareness is also very important. When do you recognize or know that you are okay? And when do you recognize and know that you are not okay and need to seek help? Because with mental health, it does not discriminate who to affect. Because you're just a human being who goes through different things. Things like anxiety, we can talk about phobias, we can talk about daily stress with work, with school and family. So all those things are things that you need to be aware of when you're going through all those issues that you might fail on your own to manage. When do you know to say, now I need to seek help? Okay? So that's why we are trying by all means to normalize people seeking mental health services, especially in our institutions of work, our institutions, like family, it's also an institution. We can talk about schools. So it is very important for us to seek mental health services, to find someone to talk to, and you should always remember to say it does not matter who you are. You can be a mental health specialist and still having challenges in how you're supposed to manage your mental health. So you should always know when you're supposed to seek mental health services. I think there is nothing more that I can say apart from the fact that mental health is an important aspect of our health and should not be neglected. Madam Muntali, you have said almost everything, so thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. We do appreciate our services, and we do appreciate you coming through to promote mental health. And it's a month of mental health. It's a month of health. Well, it's a month of mental health, and there is no health without mental health. We are here to break the stigma and discrimination that is attached to people living with mental illness. We are here and we are in it together as a team. Together we can do it. Together we can break the stigma. Together we can fight and win a lot of souls. Just one soul, go and save it. And then you have achieved probably the purpose of you still living on earth. God bless you and love you all. Thank you.